All right, students, I had a really cool name art project for us today. Almost kind of graffiti art kind of thing. This is something I want to do because a lot of students ask me, especially on free days, they want to draw their names or words and they want to make them bubble letters or even blocky letters. So this is something a lot of students have requested, so I thought we'd do a little project and I'd show you how to do it. It's really pretty simple and fun. I'm going to show you, we're going to do a really cool way to color it in just a minute. First, I'm going to show you the drawing part. So you're going to need a pencil. Later, you're going to need a black marker. It could be a Sharpie or any marker. You're going to need some markers. If you are at home and you don't have markers, you can color with anything. If you have markers, though, I'm going to show you a little fun trick of how to paint your marker and kind of make it look like paint. So if you have markers, go for them. If not, you can use anything. No big deal. So I got this one kind of started. I'm going to flip it over and start at the beginning to show you. Well, I got some marks back here. That's okay. So first thing we're going to do is get your name as big as we can. If you have a super duper long name, you can do a nickname or your last name if you want. I think at least getting 5 letters is good. If you have a ton of letters, you might want to do a nickname or something, whatever you'd like. I think it might be handy even to write your name on a separate piece of paper to help you look at the letters and find the middle letter. That's going to help you get your name in the middle of your paper. You don't want your name to be too long and run out of room, or too short and just use half your paper. So let me show you this trick to find the middle of your name. So my first name is Katie. My last name is Eckleberry, which is pretty long. So I'm going to do Katie for this because Eckleberry is pretty long. So Katie is 5 letters. So I like to cover up letters and go inward to find the middle letter. Now, if you have an even number of letters in your name, you could have 2 letters in the middle. That's okay. You just want to find the middle the best you can. So for Katie, I cover up K-A-T-I-E, cover up the K and the E, A and the I, and the T is in the middle. So I know the T has got to be in the middle. I'm going to start with my T right in the middle. And draw nice and light. You can always tweak it and fix it. You might have to make your letters bigger or smaller, depending. So I'm going to try about like that. And you want to really fill up your paper. It makes it look super cool. So your letters will probably get real tall and real skinny. That's okay. It gives it a real funky kind of graffiti cool look. So I put my T in the middle. You guys can see that. On this side of the T, I need my I and my E. So I'm going to do I. And some letters can be smaller than others. Like my I, I'm going to make kind of skinny. And my E may be a little bit bigger. I'm going pretty much as big as I can. I saved a little space on the outside, but not much. On this side, I need my K and my A. So I'm going to start my A first. Oh, excuse me. A here. Let's see. And my K. Some letters like Ks and Ns and Hs, they may need to be bigger. Things like T's and I's, they could be skinnier. Just kind of up to you. So I got my name. It's kind of light because I want it nice and light so I can do some erasing later. So now, that's just plain old letters, right? Which is cool. But we want to bubblify these things and puff them up. So this is so simple. People don't believe me. It's so easy. They see, excuse me, I got a hair in my throat, I think. There we go. It's water. I think I swallowed one of my own hairs. Anyways, people think bubble letters look really hard. Really, you just start with your plain old letter and you trace around it. It's so, so simple. So I'm going to start with my K. And I'm going to use my stick letter, kind of like the inside, and I'm just going to bubble around it. And you can make these pretty puffy. If you want to block letters, you can make more like square shapes, but I'm going to go bubbly letter for mine. And your letters can even overlap a little bit, and they can touch each other. You know, we're not going for letters that are like really easy to read. We're going for funky, cool, artistic letters. That's the middle of my A. My T, going around there, boop. And my I, got kind of small, that's okay, around. And the more you do this, it is simple, but the more you do it, the better you get at it. E, I can touch the bottom, it's going to touch my I, come down there. So now my letters are bubble-fied. This is a good spot if you like it. If you need to stop and change things, you know, something to be bigger, smaller, this is your time to erase and fix it. Once you like it, then get your black marker. For this, if you are gonna do the marker and water thing, you gotta have a Sharpie. If you use a plain black marker, it's gonna do all kinds of crazy stuff. If you are not gonna do our water marker thing, then it doesn't matter. You can do whatever you like. But if you're gonna do this water trick, I'll show you in a minute. If you're gonna use the water, you need to have a permanent marker. So Sharpie or something else like permanent. You could actually use a black crayon. That would work too. Black crayon would work. So I'm gonna trace around just the outside of my bubble letters. Just the part that I wanna keep. I'm ignoring that middle part that we used. So I'm not gonna finish the whole thing. Once you trace it, that's when you go back with your eraser and erase all the pencil marks. So I have it finished, but I just want to give you the idea. So I would do that on all my letters. So I'm going to flip it over and show you. I already did that on this side. So I traced around all my letters with a Sharpie. I went back and erased all my pencil marks. I didn't do a very good job, so I'm going to fix it up. Coolio. And you can do some more details later with your black marker. For now, I'm going to pause and do this part. You can always add more stuff later when it dries. This is the main part you want to get done. Okay, sorry, it's going to make me crazy. This is where, if you have markers, you can do this part. Markers. Color. This one reason we're doing this in our class today is this is a really good thing to do with old markers that are drying up. You can kind of tell, especially this magenta color and my blue here, kind of my green, they're starting to get dry. They're not my favorite markers to color with because they're getting dry, but they're perfect for this kind of thing. You do not have to color perfectly. It's totally fine just to do like a quick sloppy job, and a dried up marker is totally perfect. This is a great way to use up those dried up markers, which is what we're gonna try to do. So I colored them, you know, I pretty much filled it up, but not perfect. I don't need it to be perfect because we're gonna add, oh sorry, you can't see. We're gonna paint over it with just plain old water. This is a watercolor brush. Any brush will work though. Plain old water. And we're just going to gently brush over the marker. It's like adding more juice to that marker. So even though that marker was drying up, you've juicified it, sauced it up, and you can make that marker go a lot further and fill up those little spots. And some will be a little lighter and some will be a little darker. That's part of the fun. And if your brush, if it's not really working anymore and your brush is getting dry, just get some more water. Take a little dip in the pool. And if you get too much water and it kind of spills out, who cares? It's part of the fun. When you do water stuff, watercolor or other water paints, sometimes water just does its own thing and it flows where it wants to flow. That's just part of it. You just got to embrace it, man. Go with the flow. Let it go. So, and sometimes if the marker's being stubborn and it's not flowing just yet, just keep brushing it and it'll start to move. And sometimes it doesn't completely blend in. That's okay. I think it's cool because it kind of looks like marker and it kind of looks like paint. It's like a very interesting mix. So you have to add more water if it needs it. If it was a juicier marker, it might not need much water. If it was a dried up marker, it might need more. There it goes. Isn't that pretty? So you get like darker and lighter orange there. So you can have a ton of fun with this. And I did each letter, I did the same color. You can do that, or you can mix it up. You know, your A could have been some blues and greens all mixed together. When you cover it with water, though, the colors will mix a little bit. So just keep that in mind. You might want to mix colors, you might not want to. I chose to do each letter one color. That was my choice. This is your art. You got to choose yourself. This is just something to get you started. So as I finish here, I'll tell you, if you are doing this, you'll want to let it dry. If you want to add any other details to it, let it dry first. It shouldn't take too long if you're not adding a crazy amount of water. Maybe you have a lunch break or something, or go work on something else, or you can even go back to it tomorrow if you're working at home. If you're here in my classroom, we might work on it next time. Or if it dries fast, you could probably work on it more today. And you don't have to, but you could add, oh look, my color is kind of mixed here. That turned out cool though. Oh, and here too, I wasn't even paying attention. It's kind of mixed. That turned out fun though. So that can be it. If you want to add more details and stuff, you can. Like I said, you might want it to dry if you want to add more details to the letters. If you want to add some stuff around the outside edge, you don't really have to wait for it to dry. One thing I've showed students is to add a shadow if you want your letters to look like real bubble letters. And you could do this first or you could do this at the end. I'm just showing you some options. You can make it yours. A shadow, when you add a shadow to your letters to make it look real, you always want to do it on the same side. So you pick if you want your shadow on the bottom or the top or the left or the right, just always do it the same on each letter. So for mine, I'm going to do my shadows kind of on the right side. So anything that's kind of on the right, actually all down here, I'm going to add kind of a little bubbly shape, kind of on the right side of each part of the letter, and color that in black. It won't be the whole thing, just little bits on the edge. You can kind of play around with where you think a shadow needs to be. This is kind of those things where there's no perfect right answer. You just got to kind of look at it and see what feels right. You know, you want a little more shadow. I'm going to do maybe some on this side of the eye. Maybe just a little bit right there. My Sharpie's kind of drying up too. Oh man. So where it's wet, it doesn't always mark very good, so you probably want to wait till it dries, but you know, or I could have done this first, but I just want to give you some options. So I'm going to do a little one down here. Boop. Color it in black. It doesn't need to be huge. Just give it a little extra kind of rounded shape on the edges and color it in black. And you see it gives it kind of a shadow look. So you can have fun with that. You could do little things like you want to give it some little fun lines on the outside or little starbursty shapes. Sometimes I do little sparkle marks. It's just like a straight line out from the middle. You could add little sparklies anywhere you want. You could do little like radiating lines so it looks like your name is like shiny or it's radiating or almost makes it look like it's moving. You could do fun stuff like that. So this is some of the details you can add around your drawing if you want to. But it's totally up to you. Boop, 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 boop. You can kind of have fun adding some more details if you'd like and adding those shadows if you want. So have some fun. I think this is a really cool way to just decorate paper. It's a really cool way to decorate a notebook if you have a cover of a notebook. The water thing might not work on a notebook, but you can draw your name like this. I think this would be really cool if you make something like this and hang it on your bedroom door or in your room or on your desk or in your locker, kind of like a sign. So it can be a lot of fun to try it out. Give it a try. Make some bubble letters. You can color them in any fantastic cool way. This is just one way. And have some fun.